Good evening. Watching on Facebook, watching on YouTube, watching on Twitter. You might be watching TikTok. We're a bunch of places live tonight, but I want to welcome all of you. And by the way, if you're watching this on a rerun, hey, thanks for watching. You're always welcome to join in our lives. My name is Jeremy Deysach, and I am a FICO certified credit coach with Credilife Financial Wellness. I'm also the founder of the free credit repair advice group, home of the guarantee, on Facebook. So if you're watching this somewhere other than Facebook, hop on in. Join us in the free credit repair advice group on Facebook, and I can answer any questions that you have. But I go live every Wednesday night at around 8 Eastern, 7 Central, 6 Mountain, and 5 Pacific time. So tonight, what I wanted to do was get back to the basics. We've talked about some complicated stuff. Some of the stuff's almost sounded like an infomercial. We've talked about some business credit and things like that. But I want to bring us back. I want to dial it back to the basics. We've got a lot of new members watching us, a lot of people seeing us for the first time going live. For those of you who aren't familiar with where I am, I'm in my home office, which is also the bar in my basement. Kind of a goofy place to be, but I wanted to dive into some really important credit basics, such as, where do I start when it comes to credit repair? What am I looking for? When it comes to credit improvement, what types of things should I be doing? The right things versus the wrong things to maximize my point potential, to raise my score, to round out my profile. And that's what we're going to get into tonight. What I invite each and every one of you to do is in the comments section below, go ahead and write a comment. If you've got a question, if you've got feedback, if you want to know something, you've got something that's bugging you, you've got something that you've wanted to know the answer to for a while, go ahead and put it in the comments section. And what I'll do is I'll answer that live for you tonight. All right, so credit repair. What is credit repair? Well, credit repair is essentially the ability to go to the credit bureaus. There are 3 credit bureaus: Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. And these are companies. They're called bureaus, like the Federal Bureau of Investigations is a bureau, but they're not government bureaus. These are private for-profit companies, and there's 3 of them: Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. It's like Nike, Converse, Adidas. These are 3 competing credit repositories, credit companies, and their job is to buy and sell data. They have it great. They get paid when a credit card company, a collection company, the bureaus, Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion, they get paid when the companies report your information, when they report you're on time, when they report that you're late. Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion, they get paid every time that happens. Now, if you want to apply for credit or a job or have a background check done for security clearance, job, apartment, anything, they're all checking your credit these days. What do? Well, they go to these big 3, Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion, and they pay money to get data from you. So the banks are paying to give the data, and then they're turning around paying to get the data, and the bureaus are making money hand over fist, hand over fist. Now, these 3 bureaus, you never asked them to keep tabs on you. They never asked if they could. It's just congratulations, good. Yes, you have a pulse. You're an adult in America. Guess what? You get your very own credit report. And they keep the info on me and you and 350 million other people. Okay, that's a lot of data. 350 million pieces of data. Now they get this data, this record data, this credit data, on average from about 20 sources per person per month. So that's 20 times 3 bureaus times 350 million bits of info. If they wanted, if they were compelled, if they were forced, if it was a good idea for them to document this, to verify this info that's being reported, if it was in their interest to do it, if they wanted to do 1% of that, they'd need millions and millions of employees. A credit report would cost you 50 grand. It's not going to happen. So guess what the problem becomes? Does anyone know what the problem is? Put a comment, give a like, put something down in the comment section if you know what the problem is. But I'll tell you what this problem is. The problem is the amount of the information that's on your credit report that's actually been verified for accuracy. The bureaus verify this much. Zero, nada, bupkis, niet, zilt, not a dang thing. Zero. None of the data that's being reported about you and me and all that, none of it is being verified. They're simply publishing whatever they're paid to publish. Now, that wouldn't be a big deal, would it? No, it wouldn't be a big deal if credit wasn't used for anything. Okay. Now, let me ask you a question. Is credit used for anything? Okay. Spoiler alert. Credit's used for everything these days, and not just traditional stuff, not just getting a credit card, not just buying a house, not just buying a car, but they're using it for background checks for jobs. They're using it for people to obtain security clearance, background checks for rentals. They're using it to determine your automotive interest rate in a number of states. So, where are these companies going? Where are they asking? Where are they seeking to check you out? Where are they looking to get your data? They're going to Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion, but none of your data has been verified there. Okay, those are the three largest repositories of unverified data in the universe: Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. And if you think it's okay to be judged on unverified data, that's like me saying, you suck eggs and putting it in the newspaper and everyone going, my gosh, they suck eggs. But if I can't back that up, that's slander. But not in the credit world. In the credit world, they don't have to verify that data that's on your credit report. That's not slander, that's credit, and that's just how it works. Now, if that does not seem fair to you, do me a favor, put a number one down in the comments, put a number one in chat, or give me some thumbs up if you're agreeing that that doesn't seem terribly fair. That big decisions like, can you get a job? Big decisions like, can you have security clearance? Big decisions like, can you rent an apartment? Can you get a house? Can you get a car? How much are you going to pay for your insurance? They're going to the world's largest repository of unverified data to make those determinations about you. And if you do not think that's fair, congratulations. The government agreed with you enough to make a set of regulations that protect you, consumer protection laws called the Fair Credit Reporting Act, the FCRA, the Fair Credit Reporting Act. How unfair is the credit system? So unfair that fair is in the name of the law they made. So, where do we start in credit repair? Number one, you have to review a good credit report, a 3-bureau credit report that's got Equifax and Experian, it's got TransUnion on it, okay? And you want to now take and challenge that information. I'm going to hop in here really quick. Carmen Starr asks, how do I know if I should file bankruptcy? Well, Carmen, I can't give you legal advice, but from a credit capacity, if you owe more, then with budgeting, with scrimping and saving, with cutting out expenses, and all of that, if you owe more than you can repay, period, it's probably time to do a no-cost consultation with a bankruptcy attorney. Now, how to decide if you can pay it off, you might want to talk to someone in financial wellness. For example, when I do a consultation with someone and they have the question that you've got, and if you ever want to book a consultation with me, by the way, it's no cost for the initial consultation. You go to www.bookcoachjeremy.com. But we can pull up your credit report. I was talking about the first step being to look at a good quality credit report. Here, actually, we're gonna show this question that I'm addressing. The first step is to look at a good quality credit report that's got Equifax, Experian, TransUnion. You can buy one, or you can use your free annual. And I'll tell you, if you're considering bankruptcy, grab the free annual one. You're entitled to it. Full copy of your Equifax, full copy of your Experian, a full copy of your TransUnion, and it'll spell it all out right there. Don't spend money if you're broke. Okay. Oftentimes during a consultation, I've got people who have that exact same question. Should I do a bankruptcy? Should I work on powering down the debt? Should I work on budgeting? Is it my credit that's the issue? And during that, if you wish, I can review a credit report with you. This isn't a pitch just to work with me, but the point is your report has to be reviewed. If, in all reasonability, the only light at the end of the tunnel is a train coming, yeah, maybe it is worth seriously considering bankruptcy and going into talk with an attorney. From a credit capacity, what I can do during a consultation is tell you, hey, this is something a financial wellness planner can work with you, and here's how we'll power down the debt and things like that. But I'm also extremely blunt, and I'll say, look, from a credit capacity, your best bet may be to consult an attorney for this. I'm not an attorney. I can't give legal advice. As always, I'm going to say consult with attorney. But many times, the ability to have that fresh reset, especially after a couple of years of pandemic, especially if you're drowning in debt, and if it's, I mean, debt and the stress that comes with debt does more than just have collectors calling you on the phone. It starts to affect your health. It starts to affect your quality of life. If you got kids, it affects the kids. It affects all kinds of things. So don't be afraid. If you want, use my book, coachjeremy.com. Don't be afraid to book a consultation with you. I'm going to be real direct and real blunt with you. If I think it's a good idea for you to go for a bankruptcy, I'll say, I think it's a good idea for you to consult with a bankruptcy attorney to see what your options are. I'm not going to say do a bankruptcy because that's legal advice, but I'm going to say, from a credit standpoint, here's the situation. But if there are ways out, if you can use cascading or snowballing, if you can use debt avalanche, if you can use a number of the different methods to get out of the debt. And I don't know your specifics if you've got collection debt or if we're talking about max credit cards. I don't know if you're behind or on time, but we can evaluate that. And I'm absolutely willing to do that. There's no cost for that. It's just simply to see what the right course of action. Hey, if it's something Credilife can do, don't worry. I'll tell you, you can hire us. But if it's something where you do need to consult with a bankruptcy attorney, I'll be the first person to tell you that openly, honestly, and directly. How do I know if I should file bankruptcy? One of the first indicators is you're asking that question. But you might want to take advantage of, again, bookcoachjeremy.com, a no-cost initial consultation. See, I don't have skin in the game, truthfully, on you doing bankruptcy or not doing bankruptcy. What, Jeremy, you just want to sell credit repair. No, you're in the free credit repair advice group. You can repair your own credit. Everybody can repair their own credit. Otherwise, I wouldn't be doing this video telling people what you have to do to repair your own credit. Go figure. I don't have a horse in that race. If you talk to a bankruptcy attorney, they're going to say you need bankruptcy. If you talk to a dentist, they're going to say you need dental work. A podiatrist will tell you about the things you need to do for your feet. I'm a financial wellness coach. Even if you hire us, I'm only going to talk to you about financial wellness. I've got like a fiduciary responsibility to you to always direct you the right way. How do I know if I should file bankruptcy? If you don't have the ability, based on what you make now, to pay off that debt in a reasonable amount of time, it's definitely worth considering. It's for sure worth a conversation with somebody. Again, you may not want to go to a bankruptcy attorney first. I've worked with many people in bankruptcy. I've been a paralegal for bankruptcy. I have worked with many people after bankruptcy, and I've worked with many people as an alternative to bankruptcy. So no matter which end of that situation you end up on, I would be willing and happy to talk to you about it and see if we can't get you on the right path. All right, Carmen, I hope that's helpful to you. I hope you stuck around to hear this, and I hope we can, I hope bankruptcy is not the answer. I hope it's going to be something simple that I can just show you. But if it is, I'll be real direct and blunt and tell you that too. All right. So back to how we tackle this credit, right? Back to how we. There we go. There's my name back. Ta-da! All right, back to how we tackle this credit. So the first thing we want to do is review a good credit report. Like I just told her, we want to get you can use your free annual credit. There's no cost for that. Just Google free annual credit report. And you want to identify anything that's negative. I told you about how none of this info has been verified, but you've got a legal right. What's cool under that Fair Credit Reporting Act, the FCRA, that consumer protection law I was talking about, you've got a right to go to the bureaus and say, hey guys, you know what? With all due respect, prove it. I'm not saying it's not I'm not saying dispute. You hear from people, oh, just file disputes. Go online and file disputes. And I'll go into a whole litany of reasons in another video, or you can go into the video section of the Free Credit Repair Advice Group and watch about 609 letters, investigation letters. I go into a litany of reasons not to dispute online. But here's the reality. If it's yours, you're not going to dispute it because it's yours. It's very easy to prove. But what you're saying to them is to go all Johnny Cochran on you. If you cannot prove it, you must remove it. It's just like if the glove does not fit, you must acquit. If the bureaus cannot prove it, they must remove it. You go Equifax. If you can't prove it, you got to remove it. Experian, if you can't prove it, you got to remove it. TransUnion, if you can't prove it, you gotta remove it. Okay. And here's the deal. Upon demand, every single item upon your credit has to be verifiable, 100% verifiable, accurate, factual, current, correct, verifiable today, not back when they reported it, not back when the payment went late, but today, August 31st, 2022, or fast forward to when they received the letter. Now, within a very set amount of time, and again, I'll go into more of the investigation process, or you can go to the files section of the Free Credit Repair Advice Group, read the article called Pro Tip, and it'll give you step-by-step instructions on what to do yourself, and there's even templates. But you're going to send off these letters verifying different aspects of the account. If they can't verify, validate, and document within certain confines that it's accurate, factual, current, correct, and verifiable as of today, then by law, it must be permanently deleted, gone from the credit profile like it never happened. Now, it does not mean that the debt is gone. If you owe someone money, you owe someone money. But it means that that creditor, their ability to report it to Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion, their ability to report it to the world's largest repository of unverified data, they lose that, and that's very powerful. Why? Well, because those negatives are no longer standing in your way. Why else? Because if you've got something like a collection or a charge off and you've got a collection company hounding you and you owe them money, if you get them deleted from the credit report prior to negotiating a settlement and you contact them and go, hey, ABC Collection and Bait Shop, you've been calling me and bugging me, and you're saying you're saying I owe you $1,000, something like that. What would you take to settle something like this? Say, oh, we need $1,000, or we can offer you 800. You say, well, what are you going to do if I don't settle it? Oh, we'll stay on your credit and inhibit your ability. And you can stop them to look. You couldn't even do that right. You've already been deleted from the credit report for failure to verify. As a courtesy, I'm reaching out to you to negotiate a settlement. They have a lot less power in this settlement negotiation, don't they? You've taken away their power. They've been holding your credit hostage. They've been standing between you and a higher score. They may have been standing between you and underwriting saying yes, standing between you and your goals and that investigative process, the challenging of the data. Well, that's the first step in credit repair. So I'm going to just throw this out like breadcrumbs. We're going to follow this trail down the path. Tonight, I know it's Labor Day weekend coming up, back to school. People are busy. It's not super crazy attended. I'm pretty cash tonight here, in the bar. If y'all notice the horror icon things, if you've been a long time watcher over the last 5-6 years of the lives I do, you'll notice all the horror stuff is gone, and we've just got libations and things like that. There's a reason for that. I've sold my house, and I'm buying a bigger one. So we're gonna have a new studio for my Wednesday lives coming up. So that's gonna be cool. And there'll be room to actually hide from the children. I've got 7 kids, so it can be a little chaotic at the Jeremy Deysach house. But I'm going to leave pieces of this along so that it'll create kind of a little bit of an easy to watch, easy to follow video series that will allow you to follow the bouncing ball, allow you to follow the steps, and learn what it's going to take to get that score, get that profile and position for your goals, how to build credit, how to maximize your point potential. But first, we're starting with the concept of credit repair, what it takes, what you have to do first. You have to identify those negatives, right? Those negatives on your credit report. Go to Free Annual, go to whomever, and get a 3 bureau credit report, Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. Go through them. Go old school. I got a printer back there, print it on paper, grab a highlighter, and start coloring, right? Start coloring it in. And hopefully it doesn't look like a huge, bright whatever when you're done with it. Hopefully there's just a few little lines because you don't have as much to work with. But if you do have a ton, that's fine. That's what we're here for. Go through and review that credit. Identify anything that's hurting you. Identify anything negative, anything derogatory. Identify anything that's wrong. There are a lot of just flat out inaccuracies on credit. It's not a perfect process. It's not a science by any means, okay? You identify those. Those are going to become the subject of your investigation. And then we know we're going to be sending investigation letters to the bureaus challenging it, putting the burden of proof into their hands, saying, prove it or remove it, prove it or remove it. If you cannot prove it, you must remove it. They have to verify, validate, and document that everything on your report is 100% accurate and factual and current and correct and verifiable as of today, not back when they reported it, but today. And if they fail to do so in a certain time frame, in a certain way, or at all, then by law it gets permanently deleted from the credit profile. This is the first step in credit repair, credit restoration, and financial wellness. It's to analyze your credit and see what's in there. Like I spoke moments ago to Carmen, who had the question, how do I know if I should file a bankruptcy? It all starts with taking a look at that credit report and seeing what's really out there. What are my liabilities? What's holding me back? What's holding me down? Identifying them, being honest with ourselves about them, honest with ourselves about, can we afford the situation we've gotten ourselves into? And the answer for a lot of people is no. We've had a very difficult past couple of years. The economy has changed tremendously. We've had a global pandemic. There have been over 1 million deaths in the US. That's not small stuff. That's not small stuff at all. That's huge stuff. Okay? So it's understandable that we may be in over our heads at some points in time, and that's fine. This is a non-judgmental place when it comes to that. Now, I won't judge you for things that happen to you. Going forward, I'll judge the heck out of you. I'll judge you if you're not taking steps, if you're not doing the things you got to do. I'm very judgy on that. But we're never going to judge you on your past. Ask your questions. This group it's a safe place. The Free Credit Repair Advice Group, home of the guarantee. It's a safe place that we've established for you and for 73,000 of your closest friends. And you can ask your questions about credit. You can ask your questions about debt. You can say, look, I don't know the answer to this. I don't know how this works. Don't be nervous. Don't be afraid. Don't think someone's going to jump on you because you were never taught this in high school. Guess what? Nobody was really taught this in high school. So tonight's kind of piece of this is credit basics. Where do I start? And again, it starts with the review of a 3 bureau credit report, identifying the things that are derogatory, that are negative, that are wrong, or that are holding you back, using them as the subjects of investigation letters to Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion, the 3 credit bureaus, the 3 repositories of unverified, unvalidated data. And next week, I'm going to go into how these letters work, how these investigation letters work, where the templates are for free for you, how to send them, where to send them, and all of that. Today, credit basics, let's get started. So if you have one takeaway from tonight, from Wednesday, the 31st of August, it's I want you to get your credit report. This is your homework assignment. I want you to get your credit report, a 3 bureau credit report. Just Google Free Annual Credit Report, or go ahead and purchase one through smartcreditvip.com. That's a credit monitoring service. Eventually, you'll want credit monitoring while you're working on your credit. But get the free one. Identify what's derogatory, identify what's holding you back, identify what's wrong, and have that ready for next week and have your questions ready for next Wednesday. Because next Wednesday at 8 Eastern, 7 Central, 6 Mountain, and 5 p.m. Pacific time for you surfers, right? We're going to talk about the letters. what types of letters go where, what do we say in them, how do we send them, and all those good things. So where do we start? We're going to be on to the next step, investigation letters, next week. Now, if you'd like to hire a professional or maybe just talk to a professional to see about hiring them, if you'd like to find out more about the Credilife VIP program, you can book a consultation. See it going across the bottom at www.bookcoachjeremy.com. And when you go there, you can pick a day, an evening, or even a weekend time for an initial no cost consultation. Now, there's no cost for the consultation because I haven't done anything yet, right? You're finding things out. I'm learning about you. We're seeing if things are a fit, and we're seeing if this is something you need. Many people get some advice from me and I send them on their way, and that's awesome. Other people go, wow, I might need some professional help here, and that's cool. You know, we can put in our own water heater in our house, but keep in mind we're dealing with electric, gas, and water in many cases. Sometimes it's better to let the plumber do their thing. Sometimes in credit, depending on your situation, it's better to let the FICO certified executive credit coach do their thing and help you. So if you want to do a consultation, find out if it's right for you, go to www.bookcoachjeremy.com, pick a day, an evening, or a weekend, and we'll talk about what's on your credit. It's no pressure. It's super chill. It's not embarrassing. You're not going to be judged. We'll talk about what's on your credit. We'll talk about your goals and put together a plan and steps and action items to get your score and your profile in position for the goals. Then, if there are any services that are appropriate with Credilife, of course, I'm going to tell you about them. But if there's things you don't need, I'll tell you that too. No matter what, you're going to get good, sound, professional advice. www.bookcoachjeremy.com. And join me again next Wednesday. What's the date for next Wednesday? Of course, I don't have my calendar up. That would make life far too easy. So join me again next Wednesday. That's going to be the 7th of September at 8 Eastern, 7 Central, 6 Mountain, and 5 Pacific, right here in the free credit repair advice group on Facebook. And if you're watching on, if you're watching on TikTok, if you're watching on Twitter, if you're watching on our YouTube channel on Credit TV, CREDI TV, that's our YouTube channel. If you're watching anywhere else, make sure you hop on to Facebook, go to the free credit repair advice group. You can't miss it. It's the one that has all caps afterwards. It says home of the guarantee. Go ahead and join that. Invite your friends, invite your family, anyone who you think could use some credit advice and some direction with their credit. All right. I want to thank you for joining me tonight. I appreciate all of you. I look forward to seeing you next Wednesday, September 7th, where we talk about the next step. That's the investigation letters, how to write them, what to put in them, how to send them, who to send them to, all that good stuff. That's going to be an important one, so make sure you tune in. I'm Jeremy Deysach, FICO certified credit coach with Credilife Financial Wellness. Thanks a lot. Y'all have a great evening and have an amazing, amazing, and safe and fun Labor Day weekend coming up. I know I'm looking forward to a little time off. All right. Thanks a lot, y'all. Have a great night.